Welcome this evening. Merry Christmas to you. This is worth waiting for. It's Christmas Eve. I'm glad you're here tonight, and we have a treat for you. Now, the entire service, let me just explain the entire service. It's all centered around lights, so don't break this. Every one of you have been given this. Don't break this till the end of the service. We'll all do it at once. But one of the things I need you to do, I want you to prepare a little bit. We're going to use our lights a little bit in our cars. Now, so as much as possible, if you have the ability with your car to turn all of your lights off so that, I know some of you have running lights because you need to run your car and all that, and that's fine, but just your regular lights are off. But from time to time, I'm going to ask you to flash your lights. Now, the way to do that is to just pull back on your blinker. Let's see whether you know how to do that. Just turn them on. Come on, let's see whether you guys can do that. Take a look. Some of you, yeah, you guys are getting it. So some of you, we need that. Now, the other thing we need you to do is we need some horn honking from time to time. So, yeah, okay, good. They work. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. It is time to start, and we celebrate tonight. The entire celebration is about all the different people in our church and all the different countries that our church represents and how we celebrate Christmas very differently. But you can't have a Christmas celebration without Santa. And Santa comes from the North Pole, which is this way. And in order for you to see Santa, I need everyone in the front row, cars, I need all of the front row cars to turn your lights on right now. And I want you to watch. Turn your lights all the way on in order for you to see. We got to see Santa. Here comes Santa Claus coming from the right, coming from my right, your left. He's coming from the north. Let's see what kind of sleigh he has on. Kids, you may want to get out of the car and come to the front. Don't step in front of Santa Claus, but here comes Santa Claus. Here we go. He's riding a red and white. Oh, boy, yeah, Santa Claus. He's riding a Super Cub, a C-125 Super Cub tonight, Santa.
Merry Christmas, Pastor Dad.
Merry Christmas. Man, I'm glad you're here.
It's chilly out here.
I know, and you brought some friends with you here tonight.
I did.
Who are
I brought
these?
some of my elves. The rest of them?
These are some of your elves.
Some of
All
my elves.
right.
The rest of them, they're back at the North Pole.
I see.
They're working because Sony didn't make enough PS5s.
That's right. You only have a little bit of time here tonight before you go back, right?
But here's the thing. The real reason I'm here is because you guys need to know that Jesus is the real meaning of this season. Jesus is the reason for this season. Can I get a honk for that?
All right. Come on. Yeah, that's exactly right. Jesus is the reason. Now, Santa Claus, we love you. We love to celebrate with you, and you're all about Christmas. Now, there's some kids that want to see you, so you're going to ride up and down in front of these cars for a couple of times. And what do you want your helpers to do?
So I'm not going to leave here without you guys having something. So they're going to come through. They're going to give you guys candy canes. You guys want candy canes? Honk for candy canes. They're going to come through, my helpers. They're going to give you candy canes. As I wish you guys a Merry Christmas, I'll ride around. Give me some honks.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Give Santa a hand. Here we go. Here he comes. Santa's on his way in his red and white Super Cub. There he goes. Come on, Santa. Here we go. As Santa makes his way, let me mention a couple things for you tonight. Santa was brought in at 4 o'clock by the Harvey Field helicopter. So we thank the Harvey Field helicopters for bringing him in. And tonight, we are privileged that we, as a church, can meet on Christmas Eve at Thomas Family Farms. How about giving a shout out to Thomas Family Farms? Isn't that cool? It's awesome. We're glad you guys are here. We're glad. And so, while Santa's going back and forth, we're going to get ready. I need a little help. Pastor Stacy is our family pastor.
Merry Christmas.
I'm really excited about this portion because I won
You
last
did.
service.
You won. So I
last
really
service.
need my team to step
All right,
it up.
so we're going to find out how this works out. We want to get a little energy going for the night before we get going into this service, and Santa's kind of making his way. One more lap, Santa, and then you're gone, okay? There we go.
I think Santa's having way too much fun.
He's having too much fun. So what we're going to do, what's the competition here tonight?
Okay, so we've got a lit up sign under our right-hand screen, and we've got a lit up sign, hold it high, on the left-hand side over here.
Okay.
Opposite for you all.
And where's our split? Right here?
Well, right behind the camera, right between, right here.
Okay.
I don't know if you all can see us. We can't see a thing.
Right to this side of the camera. If you're on this side, you're on Stacy's team. If you're on this side, you're on Pastor Dan's team. Okay, here we go.
But wait, do they know what they're doing?
No, they have no idea.
That's so how your games go. Okay, so you guys are going to honk your horns. We're going to start with just honking. You are going to honk your horns as loud as you can when it's your turn. You guys don't do a thing. Do not help them.
Although you can help us if you want to.
No.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to do. It's a little competition. I need some creativity out of some horn honking over here, and I need some help from my lighted sign. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, let's go!
All right. That's good.
Okay, I don't think they can beat that.
You know what? I have confidence because you had a ton of big trucks last service. I think I have a chance. All right, I'm going to count down from 3, and we've got to bring it. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, good.
Okay, we'll give you the horn honking.
Yeah,
I'll give you the horn honking, but one thing that we have going for us is we have creativity on this side. So here's what I need on this side. I need you to be as creative as you can with your lights. Now, I'll explain in just a minute. When I count to 3, I want you to turn flashers on, flash your beams up and down, stand around. If you've got red lights, blue lights, whatever you got. Ready? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Let's see some creative.
All right, that's pretty. That's good. That's
Not
good.
bad.
This one for sure.
Yeah.
I think they're on my team though.
This one's on my team. All right, here we go. Okay, thank you guys. Okay,
All right.
Let's see how this thing does.
Same rules, but bigger if you can somehow make that happen. 3, 2, 1. Oh, see? They're adding in some. I think I won both.
Okay,
Hands down.
Now we're going to combine them both, lights and horns on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
They all joined in. They all joined in on that one.
All right.
That was awesome.
Hey, awesome time tonight. We're glad you're here. This is Christmas Eve, and we've been waiting for this for a long time. And this is our last Christmas Eve service.
Yeah.
We've had such a good time tonight, and we're going to have a great experience. So let's explain how kids can get involved. In fact, not just kids now. Everybody gets a bag, right?
Everybody should have a bag. And if you don't have a bag, go ahead and put your flashers on, and one of our ushers will make sure that we get those out. So if somebody can bring some out right here, that would be great. First row. Oh, I see a few. So our
if
ushers.
you have flashers on and you need bags, just, they'll bring you a bag. If they have flashers on, ushers will bring you a bag.
I know
Hurry
they're
up,
out
ushers.
there.
Here we go.
And if not, I'll get them out to you.
Ushers, we'll get them out to you. Let's see. Are they coming? They're coming. On
okay.
the way.
So you're holding this up.
Right. So here's what we're doing. Tonight we're taking a passport. This passport. Why do we have a passport?
So there's a lot of good treats in here, but as you mentioned, we are celebrating this Christmas all of the different cultures and countries that Gold Creek is a part of and that invest in and that engage around the world. And you are going to be hearing about that all night. Different traditions that they do over Christmas, and that these are all a part of our congregation, these people.
Okay, now I have to tell you, adults, your kids are going to have to help you on this. I'm just going to warn you ahead of time. Your kids are going to have to help you on you. These little stickers right here are so small that only kids' eyes can really understand and see them. So if you don't have a kid in the car, you may have to borrow one from the next door neighbor.
Right.
But whatever you have to do, as you see that country being portrayed through the videos that we're going to show, then you put a sticker on that car, on that country, and then all the way through you'll see these, and at the end, you'll have traveled around the world.
Yes, it's exciting. And enjoy the treats. There's also a book in there for you to read when you get home tonight before Santa comes.
Awesome. So let's get started. What do you have to do when you start Christmas Eve services? You have to sing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to sing Noel. Let's sing together. You'll see it on the screens. Just sing it at the top of your lungs, whether you're online, watching online, or in person here out in the cars. Let's sing together. Have a great time.
To certain poor shepherds in fields where they lay, in fields where they lay, keeping their sheep on a cold winter's night. Then was so deep, Noel, Noel.
Hey, welcome. This is the Lopez Kitchen. We are going to be talking about a cool Mexican tradition during the holidays, and there was a name that I couldn't pronounce. So this is Pedro Lopez. What was the name of the Mexican tradition?
Día de los Reyes Magos.
Yes. See, I can't say that. but it is phenomenal of some of the things that they do. One of the things was they leave their shoes at the door, and you're supposed to fill them with presents, and I love that. It's almost like, your stockings. And the thing that I love the most is right here. And I heard this before, but I never got to participate in it. What do we have here, Pedro?
Tamales.
Tamales. What kind of tamales do we have?
Chicken.
Chicken
Chicken,
tamales.
beef, but these are chicken, but some are beef.
Some are beef, some are chicken. These are made by who?
My mom.
Your mom made those? Oh, man. And if you've never had a hand-rolled, still in the corn husk, freshly made tamale, you are missing out. I wanted to ask, how does this remind you of Christmas?
So I guess growing up, for me in a single family home, like it wasn't as much, like big turkey dinners.
Yeah.
It was mostly like, my mom, she didn't really cook turkeys. I mean, she came over when she was probably like 15, so she didn't really cook turkeys. But she does know how to make tamales and pozole and, anything, Mexican. So, it was either pozole or tamales for Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we would flip-flop those, and my favorite were the tamales.
So Pedro, would you mind dishing out a few of these? Let's go ahead and taste these on camera so that everyone that is watching, you can use these forks right here, everyone that's watching can be jealous that we are about to eat some authentic tamales. And of course we have the different layers of salsa. Merry Christmas. You guys are missing out. I'm sorry I couldn't share this with you, but if you ever get a chance to eat Christmas tamales, I highly recommend it. Thank you guys for letting us into your home and eating some of these with you guys. I appreciate you sharing your culture. Of course. And of course, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
I can't wait to share this other Christmas tradition. Now, we're here with Roberto and Namwezi. Now, each of you have a different country of origin, and your country of origin is?
I'm from Venezuela.
Venezuela. And what I understand is Venezuela has a very similar tamales at midnight feel, right?
It is, although in Venezuela we don't call it tamales, we call it hallacas. It's a little more yellow hue to it, but it's essentially the same. It's delicious.
Now, I have to, is Christmas Day a big deal, or is it just all, what is it?
No. We celebrate Christmas Eve. So everyone, including the little ones, stay up all night, and at midnight it goes crazy. It's like a party, fireworks for an hour or so, and everybody stays in until they pass out. And Christmas Day is usually...
They can't stand it anymore, huh?
Christmas Day is usually people just sleeping.
Okay. Now, Namwezi, where is your country of origin?
Zambia.
Zambia.
Yes, I'm from Zambia.
Tell us about your history. What was your tradition Christmas?
Okay, so my parents had their own tradition. We don't have a tradition as a country, but my parents came up with their own tradition where they danced at midnight every Christmas, and we ate a lot of chocolate. So
Eat chocolate and dance at midnight. How long you been married?
2 months.
2 months.
Yes.
So you guys are just now creating your new traditions.
Yes.
What's it going to be?
Probably a combination of all of them. Minus fireworks.
Here's what I want you to ask. When you see these guys, I want you to ask them, did they dance at midnight Christmas Eve?
Hey Gold Creek, my name is Brian. I'm here at Woodinville, and I'm with a good friend named Julie, and she's going to share us a story about Christmas. So Julie, would you first start and tell us about where you were born and why Christmas is meaning for you, specifically your story of growing up and how you came here?
Yeah, well, I'm Vietnamese, but I was born on a refugee camp in Thailand. And for us, for my family growing up, Christmas was just a time where everybody got together. You'd see uncles and aunties you haven't seen for, many, many months or at least a year. So for us, it just means getting together as a family.
You know what I love about your story, about being born somewhere else and then going to Vietnam, right? And then ultimately coming here, is that this is kind of the story of Jesus. This is the story of Christmas, is that Jesus was a refugee. He was born someplace, brought to another place, and eventually went to another place and settled. So then when it comes to holidays, my favorite thing about the holidays is food. What is your tradition that you guys use for family in the holidays?
Yeah. So after we come home from church, and it usually right around 10 p.m. or so on Christmas Eve, my mom will start setting up this huge, setup of making spring rolls at the dinner table. Traditionally, when we do it on Christmas Eve, everybody rolls their own rolls. So it's a very collaborative meal, and it requires a lot of participating, and it takes hours, to finish the meal, because it's so much of interaction with, whoever's at the dinner table with you.
So you guys are done at like midnight then?
Yeah, exactly. Wow. Yep. And then gift opening happens then.
Wow, cool. Hey, thank you for sharing your story about your family and culture with us here at Gold Creek.
We hope you're enjoying these videos that talk to you about Christmas around the world. If you didn't figure it out, that was Mexico, that was Venezuela, and that was Thailand. Now, there was another country there named Zambia. You won't find that in the book, but it was also talked about there. We hope you enjoy this and think about Christmas around the world. What are your traditions? You can think about that in your car. And we're going to sing one more song and then hear just a few more traditions. Let's sing, "O Come All Ye Faithful." Let's sing it together.
Oh, come, all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come ye to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of angels. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord. Sing choirs of angels, sing in exaltation. Sing, all ye citizens of heaven above. Glory to God, all glory in the highest. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord, we greet thee, born this happy morning. Jesus, to thee be all glory given. Word of the Father, now in flesh appearing. Oh, come, let us adore him. 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 Oh, come, let us adore him, Christ the Lord.
Hey, welcome to another Christmas tradition, and I can't wait. I wish we could put all of this stuff in the bags of people. You have your bags out, and you're pulling out some candy. We're going to have some Egyptian stuff in there for you to taste and all that. But here's the thing, we are here with Max and Amy, and many people don't know that they're from Egypt. So what happens the very first as you go into Christmas Eve? What time do you go to service?
Well, it starts at 8 and we kind of go behind, so we go by 10 and it's ending by midnight.
So the service starts at 8, but you show up at 10. That's good. It's a 4-hour service. And then when you get home, who all's there? Tell me who
all
all's
the
there.
family would gather on the table,
Okay.
from the youngest to the elders, and we have the big table full of feast, like you see. That's a little bit from it.
So tell me what you prepared today.
Well, I prepare grave leaves that filled with meat and rice, and we have the molokhia, is a green soup that we eat it in a bowl. We can put some rice on it, mix it with the rice and eat it.
And then what do we have
And
here?
this is a big deal. That's a feta that everybody waiting for it. Feta is made up with rice, bread, garlic,
Okay, I'm
and
going to use my
meat.
fingers anyway. Here. Now, your favorite part, Max?
Oh yeah, the sweet. When it comes at the end of the meal, it's the sweet is my favorite. This is kak. It's our traditional Egyptian cookies. We all eat that, and other sweets too, like chocolate bars and whatnot, but this is the major one.
So you start at midnight eating dinner. How long does it take?
Well, there is on TV, there is a mass that going on. We watch kind of like a second service, but watching like with about 2 hours or 3 hours. So we don't go to bed until like 3 in the morning.
Wow.
Or maybe sometimes 4.
Okay. So you brought some Egyptian money here. This is old Egyptian money, and then there's some new Egyptian money. And when we were there, Audrey and I got to spend some of the new Egyptian money.
Yeah, so in the morning when we wake up, we go visit Grandpa and Grandma. And then when they go around the table again, they hand everybody cash money. We don't get a Christmas gift. It's cash money only.
So if you guys want money at Christmas time,
You know where to go.
go to Max's house.
No, go to Egypt.
I go to Egypt. Thanks for joining us on this Egyptian memory celebration of Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas again. I'm so excited to have my guests here. This is Collins and Kristen Abonyo. And where are you guys from? Or where are you from?
I'm from Kenya.
You're from Kenya, okay, and you're from?
Eastern Oregon.
Eastern Oregon, so we have the States, we have Kenya. How in the world did you guys meet?
I was on a missions trip. I'd actually moved over there for a year, and I met him in the gym and then brought him back here to the States.
I get it, you're a good looking guy, Collins, so I totally, he said thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to make you nervous, buddy. And so we brought him here because obviously there's a Kenyan culture that is gonna be represented here, and I wanted to ask you, can you describe a little bit of like a Christmas in Kenya?
So Christmas in Kenya is about marrying, eating, getting together. We travel from the urban areas to the rural. We call it a village. So when we get there, we eat. We eat.
Of course,
we eat. We marry.
right?
We drink. Yeah.
I love it. Is there something that you guys eat that's specific to around Christmas time? You know, like we have Thanksgiving turkeys and we have Christmas ham. Do you guys have something that's just kind of represents Kenya for meals?
Yes, we do lots of meat in Kenya. We do chicken. We do have a goat meat. We end up slaughtering like 3 to 4 goats, depending with the number of the people that are visited during that time.
Wow.
And a lot. So with that one and our normal local brew, we do that. We sit down, we dance, yeah.
Dancing. So you didn't mention that before. There's another element that is a little bit different, but I think would be a lot of fun. Some Christmas dances. Well, I want to thank you guys. Thank you so much for taking some time with us today, celebrating, teaching us a little bit about what you guys do in the Kenyan culture. I didn't realize you ate so many goats, so I learned something new today, and I appreciate that. I just want to say Merry Christmas to you guys, and thank you guys again.
Hey, welcome. We have another tradition, and this tradition goes all the way back to Cuba. And I have a guest with us. Tell us about yourself and your family and where you get your Cuban roots from.
So my name is Kim Corvo Cisneros. I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. I had a mixed family, so my father's side is Cuban and my mother's side is Italian. And one of the things that we did for Christmas is celebrating with the Cuban side of the family or our Cuban friends, doing something called the Noche Buena. So essentially we all come over to one of the family's houses. There's no actual set time because Cubans really don't know how to tell time a lot of times. So there's no really set time, and you just come around and we just pick on food the whole time we're there.
So what was at the very center of the meal, what's the center of the meal? Kind of cool. This is a cool tradition.
So if you're doing it upright, if you're doing it correct, the main centerpiece of the meal is the very large roasted pig that's been roasted all day over coals.
I have a picture. We're going to show it online right now because when Audrey and I were in Cuba, they roasted it, and they did it the right way, where we all took turns turning the pig. You had to do it by hand for hours at a time, so everyone took a turn on it. It was pretty cool.
And then we also had the sides. The sides are really important. So you have to have the sides, which is, we call it mojos y cristianos, and, excuse me, not mojos, moros y cristianos, which is black beans and rice. And you also have yuca, which is a root, not exactly like a potato,
Yeah,
but.
I like yuca.
And then we also have plátanos.
And then you get to open a present.
Yes, so, and of course the kids are mostly excited about this one. We only allow them to open one present on Christmas Eve, just one. And so they're all like, kind of like, it gets really stressful, especially if they have a whole bunch under the tree. They're like, oh, which one do I pick first? Which one? But we're like, nope, only one.
So you love your Cuban roots.
Yes.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing your celebrations. I hope we get a chance to show you some of those pictures of the food and the celebration because it's epic. Thanks for sharing your tradition.
Thank you.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Jessie, and I'm Connections Pastor here. And now I'm hungry as well. Kids, I don't know if you were listening, but we just covered 3 more countries for your passport. So we covered Egypt, Kenya, and Cuba. So you should have all 6 stickers in your passports now. We've got lots of good stuff coming up. And I want to take a moment and welcome those of you that are joining us for the first time. We're so glad you're here. Would you text that word welcome to 425-491-1955, and that'll let us know that you're here. And we're so glad that you're joining us tonight. So thanks for doing that. We are going to sing another song, Hark the Herald Angels Sing. This is one that everybody knows. So if you're at home, it's Christmas Eve, sing it out. If you're here with us, we want to hear you. So join us.
Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Peace on earth and mercy mild, God and sinners reconciled. Joyful, all ye nations rise, join the triumph of the skies. With angelic hosts proclaim, Christ is born in Bethlehem. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King. Christ by highest heaven adored, He brings, risen with healing in his wings. Mount he lays his glory by, born that man no more may die, born to raise the sons of earth, born to give them second birth. Hark the herald angels sing, glory to the newborn King.
Christmas is celebrated around the world, just like we are tonight, celebrating, singing, thinking about Christmas. And every Christmas celebration is worth waiting for. Wouldn't you agree? Some will say tonight, I can't wait for the service to be over because we get to open a present, or we get to be together as a family, or we're going to a meal. We wait for these moments, and we love Christmas. But I have a story to share with you about someone that waited for Christmas their whole life. Can you imagine waiting your entire life for one Christmas? That's what happened to this man whose name was Simeon. He was waiting because he was promised that one day he would see Christmas take place. You can read his story in Luke chapter 2. It's really the story of a man that waited for Christmas. At that time, there was a man in Jerusalem. His name was Simeon. He was righteous, devout, and eagerly waiting for the Messiah to come and rescue Israel. Now there's some words there. There's some key words there. The word righteous means that he was not perfect. That doesn't mean that he was perfect. It means that he was up to date on his sacrifices. Whenever he did something wrong, whenever he recognized that he wronged somebody, and he would go to the temple and he would make a sacrifice for his wrong. He was up to date on his sacrifices. He was doing his best to be able to be right with God. And it says he was devout, which means he was really serious about God. And he was waiting for the Messiah. That's really the promise of Christmas. And the word Messiah means anointed one. When they would anoint a king, they would pour oil over the king's head. And Messiah is the picture of the oil being poured over a king's head, because this Messiah was the King of Kings, the king that everyone was waiting for, the king that was going to change everything for everyone. And what does it say? He's going to come and rescue Israel. This Messiah was named Jesus. And even Jesus' name means rescuer. Well, Luke goes on to say this. The Holy Spirit was upon Simeon and had revealed to him that he would not die until he had seen the Lord's Messiah. And that day, the Spirit stirred him or led him to the temple. I like that picture. Here's Simeon. He's been waiting his whole life for Christmas. And finally, one day, there's something inside of him. He wasn't scheduled to go. He didn't have to go. He wanted to go because something inside of him drew him to the temple. You know what? I'm convinced this Christmas Eve service, some of you have been drawn here. Some of it have been invited here, or maybe just somewhere in your soul there's a need for God and you are hungry for a fresh touch from God. That's the Spirit's drawing you like he did Simeon. So when Mary and Joseph came to present the baby Jesus to the Lord, as the law required, Simeon was there and he took the child in his arms. Now, this is kind of interesting. A stranger walks up to this couple and takes the baby, 8 days old. And I happen to know that this baby is a very young baby. I don't know what Mary and Joseph felt like, but I know what Simeon felt like. As he embraced the baby, he was waiting to embrace the Messiah. That's what Christmas Eve is all about. Think about it. The God of the universe stepped out of the universe into our world in the form of human as a baby. He did so that you and I would embrace him, accept him. Who cannot accept? Who can't accept a child? When we embrace the real Christ of Christmas, the Messiah, that's when he rescues us. It's when we embrace him. Simeon embraced Jesus that night, and so are you. Luke goes on to say this. He praised God. Simeon praised God. Sovereign Lord, now let your servant die in peace. As you have promised, I have seen your salvation, which you have prepared for all people. I didn't want to cough on the baby. He praised God. And he said, I have seen your salvation, which you prepared for all people. You see, Jesus is a salvation for everybody. This prediction that day was a day that was provided so that all nations could celebrate Christmas. And tonight we traveled across the world and thought about every different way that nations have been celebrating Christmas all these years. And it's no different tonight. Just like Simeon tonight, when you embrace the child, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to be afraid to die. You don't have to be afraid of whatever you're facing in 2021. Here's what he said, I have seen your salvation. Jesus, his very name means rescuer, salvation. So today, you and I can see Jesus as our rescuer. The next verse actually describes Jesus in an incredible way. He is a light to reveal God to the nations. He is the glory of your people, Israel. I want you just to bow your head just for a minute. I just think before you go any further in this service, I wonder today if there's some of you that simply need to hear the voice of God in your life. The greatest thing you can do is like Simeon. You've been waiting for God your whole life. You've been waiting for Christmas your whole life. The greatest gift that God could give you today is his presence in your life. So with your heads bowed and just in your own personal life, why don't you just ask God, rescue me. Rescue me. You know, it's that simple. Jesus came to rescue us. He just simply waits for us to invite him in. He waits for us to embrace him, to follow him. Now I just want you to look at me. Just open your eyes. What you need to realize today is that if you prayed that prayer, if you just simply said, rescue me, he is so ready and willing to rescue you and help you if you'll simply follow him. You know how you follow him? You let him light your way, which is exactly what we're going to illustrate tonight. I want to prepare you right now. If you're watching from home, you may want to go into your house and turn all the lights off in your house. Get your candles ready. And I want you to be ready to light your candles. And what we're going to do is turn all the lights off here, and all the lights in the cars are going to go off. And all at once, what we're going to do is we're going to take these lights, and when I tell you to, we're going to break them. And then I invite you to do something. I invite you to roll down your window, turn up your radio. Some of you may even want to step out of your car, and I want you to sing Silent Night. So right now, break your light right now and just shake it and step out of your car or put your hand out your window, and let's just watch right now. And let's keep all the lights off in the cars. Just watch right now as all of the night sky is lit up by these beautiful lights. Let's sing Silent Night together, can we?
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child. Holy infant, so tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace.
Now let's raise our voices. Let's really sing loud enough so the neighbors can hear, so the next door can hear. Let's sing it together.
Silent night, holy night, shepherds quake at the sight, glory streams from heaven afar, heavenly hosts sing hallelujah. Christ the Savior is born. Christ the Savior is born.
We're going to sing one last verse tonight. Now, as we sing this last verse, here's what I want you to do. I want you to turn all of the lights on that we can turn on in your cars and everywhere. And you watch what we see here. Everyone turn your lights on. Let's see what happens here tonight. Let's sing one last time. Add all the lights that you can.
Silent night, holy night, Son of God, love's pure light, radiant beams from thy holy face, with the dawn of redeeming grace. Jesus, Lord, at thy birth, Jesus, Lord, at thy birth.
Now you can just turn your lights off in your cars, and we'll go back just to the glow stick lights. And I want you to think about this. Luke 2:34 says this: Simeon blessed the couple, and he said to Mary, the baby's mother, "This child is destined to cause many in Israel to fall, and many others to rise." Christmas Eve 2020 is about God's blessing in your life. He wants to bless you, but your response determines your blessing. The way you handle this Christ child, the way you handle the Christ of Christmas, determines your future. So I invite you, embrace him and rise with him. Don't trip over him and fall, but take this light now tonight as a reminder and let it shine. I had mine all night last night. It shined all night. And let it be a reminder tonight of the light that you've lit in honor of Jesus, and the light that you've lit saying tonight you've embraced the Christ of Christmas. May God bless you tonight.
As we hold these glow sticks, I think we're reminded that it's so much more than just a glow stick and just a light. It reminds us that Jesus is the reason that we celebrate Christmas. It reminds us that some 2,000 years ago, when he was born, he brought light and hope into the world. And in this year, 2020, he continues to bring light and hope into our world. If you haven't met me, my name is Alex. I'm our executive pastor. I'm so glad that you joined us for our Christmas Eve 2020 service. Now, we have one more song coming up, so don't go anywhere. That has become one of my favorite parts of our service. And when you see it, you'll see why. Because it represents what we are as a church. It represents what God's kingdom is, which is not just a church here in Mill Creek, Snohomish area. It's across the world, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But before we do, we know many of you want to participate in giving and our offering this year, and so we've made it really easy for you. You simply can text GC Mill Creek to 77977, and you'll get a link back of how you can give. Now, if you're here in your cars and you'd like to give via cash or check, during the song, we're going to have ushers that will walk through with buckets and a light in it, so you can go ahead and as they walk by, you can put your offering in there. Now, here is our song, Joy to the World.
Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room. And heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and heaven and nature sing. We will sing, sing, sing. Joy to the world. We will sing, sing, sing. Cantemos hoy al Salvador, autor de la creación. Montes y mares, ríos y valles, su nombre alabarán, su nombre alabarán, su nombre vamos a cantar, gozo al mundo, vamos a cantar,
He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. We will sing, sing, sing. Oh, joy to the world. We will sing, sing, sing. Oh,
joyful, joyful.
Every time I see it and hear it, it's just such a great way to end a service, right? That represents GC, Gold Creek, Cuba, Gold Creek, Mexico, and Gold Creek, Washington. So much fun. Well, hey, before we go, first of all, we want to invite you guys to join us this year as we read the one-year Bible. Now, we're doing it differently. I say this year. We do it every year as a staff, and we hope that you'll go join along with us. This year, every day we have a devotional that's going to go with it. And it's one of us, one of the staff that's recorded it. And it's a video or audio, you can choose, and you can read along with us. But if you text that number on the screen, Bible, you'll get a link back to actually join us in YouVersion and read along with us. The other thing is on the 27th, here in a couple days, Sunday, we're not going to have any services at the Mill Creek campus. It will all be online. Hopefully you'll join us. There'll be live chat going on at the 9 o'clock service. And then we'll be back in there on January 3rd for our drive-in, for our in-person, as well as our normal online services. So for those of you that are here in the drive-in, a couple of instructions as you leave. Please don't back out. The parking attendants will get you out really quickly if you pull forward and follow what they tell you to do. And lastly, thank you for being here with us. Merry Christmas to your family from ours. Happy New Year. God bless.